with your highest self? I'm Heather Lunn, founder of Heart Alchemy Wellness, a spiritual life coach, certified Ayurvedic nutritionist, QHHT practitioner, and 300-hour YTT yoga instructor. I've dedicated my journey to guiding others through deep transformations through shadow work and energetic healing. Through Chakra Wave Tuning and trauma-informed sound therapy, I help you unlock your inner wisdom, balance your energy, and step into your true power, whether through one-on-one sessions or through our immersive retreats. I'm here to support your path to wholeness. Join me on this journey of self-discovery and healing. It's time to reclaim your power, awaken your heart, and step into the life you were meant to live.
Grand Rising, everyone. Oh my gosh, just trying to get the proper, it's not putting me on the main screen. Okay, we're just going to do it this way. All right. Grand Rising, everyone. I hope y'all are feeling well and smelling well this fine Tuesday morning. We are working on a new software program, so just bear with me. It's supposed to just show me right there. I'm not for sure if it does, so I'm just going to change it to this. And we're just going to add a beautiful let me see. We're going to get started in a minute. I'm just trying to see what we have here to see if I can put an image here so that I can get rid of this dead space. You got to love technology. All right, here nor there. We're just going to dive right in. I'm not going to waste time. Let me put it this way. All right, there we go. That's better. Now, all right, let me get this off because I don't know if this is ours or not. Okay, bada boom, bada bang. I apologize. Mercury retrograde, learning the new software. Welcome, everyone. Grand Rising. My name is Heather Lunn. I am a shamanic life coach. I am the founder of Heart Alchemy Wellness, and I go live every day with daily Heart Alchemy to give you tips, hacks, and tools and techniques to help you move through the awakening process. My specialty is shadow work. So when you do shadow work, there's always a lot of tools and techniques that you need to keep in your pocket in order to be able to move through some of the lessons that we might experience during our journey here. So I always start off with cleansing the energy space. Then we're going to set an intention. We'll pull an oracle card, or actually, yeah. And then we're going to dive into the Qigong. Qigong is a daily practice. It takes about 2 minutes. And the reason why I chose this practice specifically is because it's quick, efficient, and it really gets to the nuts and bolts of clearing your lymphatic system. So with that said, let's just dive right in. We're going to go ahead and cleanse our energy space. We're going to use it with a chime, and we're going to clear the air and the energy with frequency. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. We're going to take another deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. I invite the divine white light to cleanse these cards of any energies that are not of love and not of light. Okay. So with that said, let's go ahead and set our intention for today. And just a fun fact, I'm going to move this back a little bit so that you guys can see me a little better. There we go. Okay. Again, working on the technology, trying to figure out where everything needs to be. Trial and error day number one. All right. So Tuesdays is the Mars day. So Monday we discussed was the Moon day. Tuesday represents Mars day. And let's just dive into what the Mars energy means for Tuesday. Well, when you think about Mars, you automatically think of fire. You think of, um, well, it says in astrology, Tuesdays is ruled by Mars, a planet associated with fiery, assertive, and action oriented energy. Is it going to change now? Hang on, let me see if I'm going to go back to my big screen. Are you going to let me on my big girl screen? Nope. Okay. We cool. We cool. All right. You got to love it. Oh, there I went. Yay, we have full screen. Sorry, I love the little things. Technology. Mercury retrograde. You just got to go with the flow and improvise, guys, because one of two things could have happened. It's Mars Day. We could have got on this live and just completely went to bed. I could have been like, oh my gosh, it's Mercury retrograde. I was like, no, take a deep breath, boo boo. We're going to get this done regardless because A, this is important. B, it's just energy. It's just something that's there to ask you, hey, are you here? Are you present with me right now so that we can work through this? Right? This is the energy that we're working for, being action oriented, making it a good day to tackle challenges, assert yourself, and initiate bold endeavors. It says here's a more detailed look about the connection between Tuesdays and Mars. And then once we learn a little bit more about this, then we're going to set our intention based on this wisdom that we just learned. Okay. So fiery and assertive energy. Well, what does this mean, right? Between Tuesday and Mars. Well, the fiery and assertive energy of Mars, the planet of action and aggression, brings a powerful dynamic energy Tuesday, encouraging boldness and courage. And we've been cultivating, and that was my intention yesterday, was courage. If I'm not mistaken, it totally was. I know it was. Tackling challenges, right? Then I just expressed that this morning we were having some technical difficulties with the platform and the main screen. It was just like a blank black screen and I was nowhere. So I just had to play with it a little bit. I had to back away, put on my thinking cap, as your teacher would say, and take a deep breath, channel what I need to do, and go back to what needs to be done, right? Sometimes you have to step away in order to solve a problem. And I didn't have to step away. I was just like, all right, we're going with the flow. We're improvising. You guys will realize that I improvise quite a bit. The one thing that I've learned is that I used to plan everything in my life. Actually, my whole life up until I was 35 was very well planned out. Was going to be married by the time I was 22. I was going to be married before I had a child. I was going to be 35 when I owned my first business. I did all of these things by being bold, and taking fiery, assertive action and being very disciplined. Okay. But during that process, I became so serious and I lost the touch with my inner child, which is the worst thing you guys can do. Our inner child needs to be nourished and loved and protected, right?
at least for me and all the clients that I work with and I've experienced, their inner child is something to be grateful for and also to be protective over, to make sure that your inner child is, well taken care of. Why? So that you can tackle challenges. Tuesday is a great day to confront difficulties head on, making tough decisions and overcome the obstacles with determination. Mars energy. And I have a Pluto Mars conjunction in my natal chart. And Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation. And Mars is fiery, assertive energy, tackling challenges, initiating action, and asserting myself. And it's in my relationship house, in my 1-to-1. And I think it has a lot to do with asserting myself because with my Pisces moon and my Cancer rising, I automatically by nature want to carry that mother archetype. Like I naturally just by design, have this mommy nurturing aspect in myself. But what happens is when you're Cancer, my Cancer ascendant doesn't learn to speak up and it continues to people please, I'm not living in alignment with my higher self, and being true and authentic to myself took me a lot of years to realize exactly what that meant. But now that I know, you can't unknow what you know. And I know that was really fun to say because I had to learn how to assert myself. I did not want to be a bad guy. I did not want to cause disruptions. I'll be honest, truth bomb. I cannot stand arguing and fighting. When I was a little girl, it was just around me at all times. And as an adult, I did carry those attributes, but during my awakening process, these are the facets of myself that I had to address with my inner child, right? And then, of course, we're in Aries season, and what a better day because Aries and Mars, they represent each other. Mars is the planet of Aries, right? When we think of action. And Aries is the zodiac sign ruled by Mars. So you think of Mars is associated with Aries and the quality of leadership and courage. So with that said, fiery energy, and we know that during Pluto Capricorn, we were destroying these structures from top down. So now we're at a new pivotal point in time and space, right? And the astrological season to where things are beginning anew. And this is the time. And actually, within the next year, everything that we know today is going to be very similar but different in some aspect and more in a higher light. As you can see what's going on in our food paradigm, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about it, but for me, I am grateful because when I heard that we were going to give children shots and that was the new way to carry over some of the other more harsh ailments, it really broke my heart that our kids are, lack of better words, that unhealthy, that out of shape, to where that would actually be our only answer versus cutting the food out. I mean, I didn't understand how that, taking a shot for the rest of your life is going to help. So I don't know. We're going to work on that, though. I do know that, and they're actually working on that right now. They're doing a lot more research, and they're disclosing a lot of the research and the ingredients that are in our medicines. And then it's up to us. Let's be honest. All grand rising, grand rising. So let's dive right in. Let's set our intention for the day. Let's just go ahead and take a deep breath in. And what is it that you want to cultivate more of? Take a deep breath out. We're going to do this 2 more times, just bringing ourselves in the present moment. just continue to ask, what is it that I'm here to create just today? Just today, right? Because being present is what is most important. What I did yesterday no longer matters. What I do right now does. What I do in the future is based on my action and my discipline of where I take and lead myself today based on the energy. So, what is your intention? It could be peace, it could be love, it could be end war and hunger. For me today, with it being yesterday was me looking, and today I'm just going to take courageous action. Just continue being bold and just courageous action. We're just going to stick with that. All right. So I invite in the divine white light to cleanse these cards of any energies that are not of love and not of light. And we're just going to use the messages from the animal spirit that we used yesterday. I really like this deck. I really do. To see what is going on in the collective. All right. So, okay. So I was using my tea leaf card earlier, and I did want to, and I pulled the eagle card, and it says triumph over troubles and obstacles. Okay, and this was right before, because I just want to kind of get a feel. And that was my card this morning. Well, look at what the collective and our community, our tribe's card is. We have the eagle and the condor. You cannot make this up. Hang on, I'm scooting in. I don't mind. I'm scooting in. All right. Wow. Like, if that's not a divine message for us this morning. So the condor says, you're too enmeshed in the situation. So step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. Ooh. And it's triumph over troubles and obstacles. And I'm just going to go on a whim. Basically, I'm waiting on my unemployment. And I've just been like going through the emotions. And then finally I said, it really doesn't matter. I've done what I can do to line my coats. And today we're just taking action. It doesn't matter what happens. I trust that, I'm taken care of, and that's all that matters. So that is my message that I got out of it, going on a whim. But the eagle and the condor. And basically what this was doing is this, I had to literally, so for me, over the past year, I have been really focusing on reprogramming my subconscious brain and my mind, because I grew up in a very, I'm just going to be honest. I want to own it. I grew up with a lack mindset. It stems from my lineage. And it's so embedded and it's so deep. And part of it was because my grandma owns the whole town, but my dad and my family. So as I got older, I tried to do things that would course correct those fears, right? Because I would try to control. And so I learned that a part of the fear is just my career. I've been in the corporate life for the past 22 years. And this year I have put my staff down and I said no more. After this venture, we're never going back. And it brought up a lot of fear around money, around self-worth, around, am I ready? And so this card really speaks to me because it reminded me that when we're too enmeshed or we're too close to a situation, we don't have the opportunity to give room for the divine to answer and to create, right? We are co-creators. So this is one of the ways that you can get in your way, right? So what I've been doing is when I get in these states where I'm like, the fear is coming up. And guess what? We all have fears. New level, new devil. Anyone that says they don't have fears, let's be honest. Every single one of us has fears of some shape or form. Okay. And a lot of it is about being able to take care of myself and my pups because, being able to provide for my family is a huge facet about myself. So this just brought up a whole bunch of like, can I do it? Am I worthy? And I actually had to go back. And this has been my eclipse season, guys, because remember, everything that no longer served us was being eclipsed out. Okay. And it didn't matter how I was in a transit where it says I would be susceptible to people pleasing by my Pisces moon. And I can see where I was because when I, was released from the position or whatever, my body that was storing all the emotions that I was going through, finally started to creep up like, hey, Heather. So as I started getting the fears and everything, as they would start to come up, I would almost immediately start setting affirmations like, hey, my inner child, I love my inner child. Now, these belittling beliefs and these old limiting stories were a part of the old Heather, which again dealt with 100% the Pluto Capricorn system, hierarchy top down. And I was reminded that the triumph is over the troubles and the obstacles. Long story, I was chasing a dream based on materialism and not my heart. And I remind everyone every day, we want to create and live through our dharma and not create more karma. When I was an insurance agent, I was creating more karma. Not me directly, but indirectly by the type of work that I did. Ignorance is not bliss. Just because you do not understand the entire structure does not mean that you are not guilty by association. So, and it really did start when we started having a lot of these hurricanes and stuff, because that's when they really started to take the coverages that we were providing away. And that's, and for me, if I can't sell my grandma Betty a product because it's taken, I feel that it is not in alignment with my integrity, right? Created a lot of fear. So, reprogramming the subconscious mind is something that you'll continuously have to do in small tidbits as things come up. Eclipse season, baby, you're going to have some stuff come up. And it's coming up for you to acknowledge, to recognize, to honor, and to work with. And this is just a reminder that this Aries season is starting anew. So anything that we were enmeshed with in the past, like me, it was my insurance business. I had several failed relationships because of some of the baggage that I carried with me and the men I attracted in order to help me learn through experiences how to love myself more. So, ego and the condor. So, you're too enmeshed in the situation. So, step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking actions. That's big because when you're about to make a career move or you're really honing in, or you're starting a new relationship or you're starting anything new, a new hobby, a new project, right? Sometimes we have to step away. And I'm just going to do a real quick chuckle and then we're moving on. So for me, the condor was the tech this morning, right? I was too enmeshed and, oh, I know how to do it. And then all of a sudden, everything that I knew how to do did not work. So then, I had to triumph over my troubles and obstacles by just going with the flow, allowing the show to still go on in spite of the difficulties. Because we're all going to have difficulties. Okay? We're all going to have lessons. We're all going to have difficulties. And they may not be the same as other people. Know your human design. I signed up for a life fulfilled of vibrancy, of depth. And if anyone understands, when you sign up for a role to live a life of depth, emotional depth, that means you're diving in the void. You don't get depth without ups and downs. But the beautiful thing is, though, is that for every low, there is just as equal high. And just have faith that, life is going to ebb and flow. You're going to have cosmic waves. And sometimes you're going to have to put your surfing gear on and just ride it. Strap your hair on, strap your bra on, keep your underoos strapped, and just ride the wave. So, bada boom, bada bang. Gotta love eclipse season. And this energy will continue to be in the energy for about another 6 months. But really, it was closing out the cycle from September to March, which was a cycle where we were looking at our shadow and we were like, do you see you? I see you, shadow. And then our shadow was supposed to get up in the driver's seat with us. They were supposed to sit right next to us in the passenger seat, not in the driver's seat. We definitely don't want our shadow driving like, hey, watch out. That would be a good watch out. All right. So let's dive right into our Qigong. Qigong is an ancient energy practice. Qi is energy. Gong is practice. So it's an energy practice. It's about 2 minutes. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. And I would like to believe that almost every one of us can do this. Or you can modify if there are ailments or appendages that might keep you from doing some of these fully. And I will go ahead and give you direction for any of the modifications. So first, we're going to start with clapping our hands. Okay. And when we're done, I need to look something up and I know what it is. Because I wanted to look at what our thumb and our pointer finger holds. Because I know our pinky is foresight. Our ring finger is sadness. And if you think about it, that's your ring finger, right? So, it's sadness. And then the middle finger is anger. And I just forget what these two are. And I can't open my multi-dimensional file that says, hey, it's this right here. Because I've already told myself that I don't know what it is. So my bad, limiting beliefs. See, this is the way you got to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because sometimes you can speak something into existence and then you kind of got to undo what you just did. So I do know what it is. It's just not, I can't channel it right now. Like I can't see it. Okay, anyway, we're going to clap our hands 9 times. The moral of the story is we hold a lot of emotions in our hands. A lot. So think about just anger and sadness and foresight. Like I expect someone's going to do something or I'm expecting the worst to happen. Oh, never thought of that, did you? All right, where's my phone? I can't take it. I need to look it up. It's right here. We're looking it up. Just a second. Hand chart. Because I have them in here. Hang on. Okay, I got it. Oh, no, that's reflexology chart. Hang on. That's going to drive me bonkers. Okay, we're going to keep going. But again, okay, hang on. Nope, that's my reflexology chart. All right. Well, it just keeps pulling up reflexology hand charts. However, your hands is a reset system. We have reset systems on our hand, on our feet. So when we express our hands, we are releasing and expressing any of the emotions that are tied into our hands. If you think about it, you start getting arthritis. That's, a sign that you're holding on to things, or you're doing one consistent repetitive motion over and over and over, which is creating crystallization in that particular region. So when we clap our hands, it allows these energies and these emotions to be able to express without what? Without talking to anyone. Because you know why? Because not everyone wants to talk about her problems. Just being real. Like for me, I will talk and I'll be open, but I'll go into meditation, and that's how I dump my baggage. Because guess what? I don't want to dump it on someone else, because guess what? They're not it. We are the ones who heal ourselves. Now we can go to a healer and they help facilitate a modality. But what that's doing is that's just encouraging our healing system. Like, come on, let's come and play. Let's rest and breath. Let's go let our inner child have some fun, right? That is what that's doing. Well, here we go. Let's cup our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll be honest, we do this every morning. My hands still sting every day. Okay? Because we don't recognize how many emotions. Okay, if we have, let's just say 70%, well, they really do say that on the subconscious level, that half the thoughts are good, half the thoughts are bad. This is just, what the studies have shown. Even if you are in alignment, there are still thoughts, that we allow move through us, but we don't actually identify with them. All right, is the best way to do it. So that will help release anything that needs to be brought up to the surface for us to look at. And Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, eclipse season energy, if that's not fire and ice enough, I don't know what is. Ooh, oh, and guess what? I have Pluto and my Venus too. Yes. And it pretty much said that I would have a relationship that would rock my world, and that I would have a difficult time trusting people afterwards. But it is being brought to me to heal. You gotta love it. It's like, dang, Pluto. Like, dude, I got a Pluto-Mars conjunction, which is already just like, man, if I don't stop, if my Mars energy is like, oh, we're going full steam ahead, everything dies. Okay? Because guess what? Once I hit Pluto, it's like, boom, right? But if I stop and I listen like I'm supposed to, then I'm going to transform, and there's going to be a rebirth, and then I'm going to be able to turn right and take a whole new direction. Because there's nowhere else to go. So here we go, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my pups have been sleeping with me, and I love them, but they are the worst bedmates. Like, I am just stiff and everything else. Every morning I'm like, all right, let's finish this because I got to get the yogurt here in a minute. All right, here's my favorite. So here we go, guys. There are no red marks. And this is our ability to give and receive. How are we giving and receiving love? Y'all, I can give love all day long, but I have issues receiving it. I've been working on that, and I did. Let me rephrase that. See? I used to have issues giving and receiving love. I would overgive. And I would not understand that what I was not receiving back in return was not a fair trade. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it does. Okay, joy and fear. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I was looking at my hand chart, and I'll post it as well. You are right. You are right. Because I remember fear it. Yep. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, I work with reflexology on the hands, the feet. I work with a lot of different modalities. So a lot of times, like moving through each like modality, but the fingers are very important. But you see all that red energy, that stagnation, it's from one day. It's from one day. So, all right, let's move to our feet. And our feet, same thing. Our toes represent certain energies, certain emotions. And sometimes our body needs a full system reboot, which is where the chakra wave tuning comes into play. So we're going to go out and stomp our feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and wrap it up with the Qigong. And I just wanted to end with just one final thought about the eagle and the condor. For the condor, it's reminding us that we have to have trust and that we have to have faith. Because anytime that we highlight an energy and we bring it closer to us, how do you solve the problem? Oh, Karen, you're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. But how can we bring this wisdom to us and take a step back and trust that we've triumphed over everything that we've been asked to triumph over? And this is since September. This is just not me. This is the entire collective. Okay, so the eclipse in September was igniting this 6 months, process where it started with us acknowledging our shadow. First, we had to act out. We had to see it. We had to look from a third side of the view, like, hey, something's going on, right? But this is just a reminder that if we do our shadow work every day and we do our meditation and whatever it is, whatever healthcare routine you have, just cultivating 5 minutes a day, doing the Qigong, tapping your hands. You can see Carol just gave us a bunch of wisdom on the hands itself. And I'll give you the reflexology charts, which shows you which organs relate to the hands as well. So the hands hold a lot of wisdom. And guess what? They also carry a lot of emotional echo prints as well. And it's easy to allow them to move through you instead of taking them with you. All right. One love, everyone. I hope you have an amazing day.
Starts with a single step. Are you ready to embrace your true self? Join us on April 27th at the Tranquility Salt Cave in Columbus, Ohio for the New Moon Inner Child Healing Sanctuary, led by Marcus Christolite from Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. This transformative event guides you through inner child wounding education, sacred journaling, and a powerful guided meditation for just $55 from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. As a bonus, immerse yourself in the tranquil environment of the Salt Cave with a 50% discount on a 1-hour halotherapy session, available for just $20 more from 6 to 7 p.m. EST. Spaces are limited, so don't miss this unique opportunity to reconnect with your authentic self and release emotional baggage. Book your spot now by scanning the QR code or visiting tranquilitysaltcave.com/events. If you have any questions, DM Christolite or call Tranquility at 614-859-3419. Your journey to healing starts here. Embrace the new you under the new moon.